Hello guys, Chris here, welcome back to another video, and yesterday I was testing the GTX 1660 Ti in Starfield, and that got me thinking. Well, the 1660 Ti is very similar in performance to a GTX 980 Ti, so how would the best GPU from the 900 series or Maxwell architecture perform in Starfield? So I pulled out my GTX TITAN X, that beautiful beast, installed it in my system with a 5800X 3D and 32GB of RAM, and here we have it, my friends. It's GTX TITAN X time. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh my god. Well, guess the settings is first, guys. What kind of settings do you think we're utilizing at the moment? Getting 16, 15 frames per second. Yeah, things are not looking good for the TITAN X right now, but that's to be expected because we are playing at the 4K resolution using the low settings. Why 4K? I hear you ask. It's totally unrealistic for a TITAN X at this point, but back in 2015 when this card released, it was very capable of running the latest AAA titles at 4K resolutions, especially like GTA 5. It provided a great experience in that one, and well, I thought we'd start with this. So we clearly need some upscaling to make it playable, right? So let's set it to FSR2, bump the sharpness up a little bit, 30%, and I'll play around with the render resolution right now. I'm gonna set it to 66%, which is FSR2 quality. This should look pretty good right now. Yeah, oh my god, no, actually, it's really soft at the distance. What the heck? Like, what is that? What is that over there? Why does it look so terrible right now? This is 4K with 66% resolution scaling. Like with DLSS, with the mod, of course, I couldn't even tell the difference between native and quality DLSS, 66%. This is terrible. Like, what the hell is happening here? I'm gonna set it to 90%. Now, even 90% flickers like crazy. Look at that. Look at the amount of aliasing there. It does give us a boost in performance, of course, which is very welcomed when you're starting with 15 frames per second, but it looks way worse than other GPUs, in my opinion. Gonna do 69 sharpness. Alright, that's a little bit better, but at the distance, everything is still super soft. What the heck? And the depth of field is also disabled, so it's all down to the resolution scaling. It's making things look really bad even at 4K. I am not looking forward to FSR2 at 1080p with this card. Whoa! The game just crashed! The game just crashed on us! No! Okay, this was clearly a sign for us to lower our resolution, right? So we're playing at 2560 by 1440, a very reasonable res when this card came out to pair with a GPU like this or the 980 Ti, for example. The main difference between them is this one has 12GB of VRAM and the 980 Ti has 6GB of VRAM. 980 Ti also has a few less CUDA cores, but it's also higher clocked, so they usually performed the same back in the days. This was only a couple of percentile figures faster, basically. Now, 1440p, well, sucks on the TITAN X, my friends. It's getting 20-ish frames per second at native resolution. It's really showing its age right here, and its low settings as well. Time to use some upscaling once again, 69% sharpness, and let's do the 66% resolution scale for quality FSR. Ooh, it gets us 30 frames per second. Unfortunately, it's even softer looking and even blurrier than at 4K resolution. Could it actually be the dynamic resolution scale? It's turned on, and whenever you are below 30 FPS, it actually does something? No, it's still super soft. Look at that. Okay. So it's not the dynamic resolution scale, my friends. It's not doing anything pretty much because we are actually above 30 FPS. So yeah, start counting the frames right now. Damn it, dude. I think it might have something to do with FSR2 being optimized for GTX 1070 and above or newer. This is actually really close in performance to the GTX 1070, but of course it's older and maybe the driver optimizations aren't really there compared to the 1070. And yeah, maybe AMD didn't really optimize FSR2 to run on 900 series as much as they did on 10 series, and their cards, obviously. So we end up with a really soft image. I'm pretty sure the RX 6600 that I tested yesterday with FSR2, as well as the 1660 Ti, looked a lot better than this, a lot less blurry at the distance especially. Anyway, this is good enough to get 30 frames per second with 25 1% lows in the most intensive area in the entire game. If you go explore another planet or play in an indoors area like this one, you can expect a few more FPS, as you can see, sometimes way more FPS actually. It's borderline playable right now. I wouldn't really call it playable yet, but we're getting there. It makes me hopeful that 1080p is going to perform well. Let's do 50% resolution scale just to see how it looks. Jesus Christ. Why? Why? I mean, is the depth of field setting broken at the moment, dude? It literally looks like the depth of field is not working properly. It looks like you're aiming at this and blurring everything else, but even when you aim at that, it's still blurry. Oh boy. I don't think it's doing anything. Can I do 100% sharpness now? Nope, still the same crap, guys. And with 50% resolution scale, well, I mean, you can see things in front of you, not very well at the distance, but I guess it could still be playable with these graphics, and now we are actually above 30 FPS for the most part, I guess. Maybe. It's probably gonna drop still, okay, in very intensive areas like over here, for example. Look in this direction. 31. Alright, we're starting to do it. Titan X. It's still not completely dead, my friends. Maybe when we get to 720p, it's gonna perform like this without any resolution scaling and look a little bit better than this. Look in this direction. It's usually really intensive as well, and it's not dropping from 30 FPS. All right. Oh, this is good. We're getting 30s. Finally, guys. Finally, we're getting 30s. Still gonna drop, but this is 1080p resolution native on the low settings. And, okay, let's start counting our FPS. And even at native 1080p with no dynamic resolution scale, look at that. It is still rendering some things at a really low resolution, or at least it looks really blurry. I guess at this point, we're not even using FSR, so it can't be FSR's fault, right? That just amplifies the issue whenever it's enabled. It could be the drivers. It could be the game not being optimized for 900 series, but it's not optimized for anything, so yeah. Right, anyway, it's still seeable. You can play like this, even with the shimmery mess and really soft mess that this is. Like, even up close, it doesn't get much better, you know? What the hell, dude? You know, it did so well in Hogwarts Legacy. Remember that video with the GTX TITAN X? You probably haven't seen it, but still, it was actually very impressive, the performance that it could get in that game. And I think Hogwarts Legacy looks better than this. Of course, the scale is another thing. This is a much bigger game, I guess, with a lot more planets and stuff. But there are loading screens, so it's not really loading all of the planets at once right now. It's just loading this area of the game, which, again, it is the most intensive one. But still, I think the graphical fidelity does not justify this terrible performance, even though the graphics card is very old and outdated at this point, really. Again, it could still play Hogwarts Legacy, it can still play Call of Duty Warzone 2, Battlefield 2042s of the world. It can play everything, I guess. Even like The Last of Us should run pretty well. So it's starting to become close to playable, right? Let's do 66% right here, FSR2 set to quality. Oh my god, yeah, it looks like 720p in some other cards for some reason. Damn it. Actually, it is 720p, let's be honest here. 66% of 1080p is 720p. So whenever you are running FSR2 on quality or DLSS on quality, what are you doing?
Buyer's market right now.
Is it?
Good time to make a move.
Talking to the wall, are you... Do you think you are mentally stable? There she goes, talking to the other side of the wall. Perfect. Anyway, we managed to make the game playable, I think, and we haven't found Bob yet, right? We need to find that bastard. Bob is It's just a typical guy trying to blend in, but he's wearing a beanie and he has a med pack on his backpack because he knows that I am here to kill him. So if it doesn't drop over here, it's fair to say that it won't really drop from 30 FPS. And if they manage to make FSR2 look a little bit better on these cards, which I doubt they will, because why would they bother optimizing the game for 900 series when they didn't bother optimizing the game at all for Nvidia graphics cards, it would actually be a playable experience, you know, because FSR2 at 66% usually looks pretty good at 1080p, or at least acceptable, and these are also acceptable FPS. Okay, let's go ridiculous. Let's try render resolution scale at 50%. Oh my god, look at the blurry mess. It's starting to look like 360p upscaled or whatever. Oh my gosh, dude. Of course, at this point, it's just to see the graphics. We've already found the perfect settings for a Titan X. If you really want to play this game and you can't wait for a GPU upgrade or a game patch or whatever, or mods that allow for more FPS and optimize the game and remove the blurry mess that this is, the TAA or whatever. Yeah, if you can't wait for that, you should play at 1080p 66% resolution scale, not like this. Alright, here we go, guys. This is 720p native resolution with the low settings. It's the blurriest thing that I've ever seen. Holy crap, at least it's getting 30 plus FPS comfortably at these settings, at native 720p as well. So there's that. If you have a very small monitor, and if you really don't mind super blurry graphics, well, this is gonna provide you with 30 plus all of the time. Still dropping into like the mid 30s at times, which is interesting. But yeah, the 40 FPS average is probably achievable here at these settings. Where's Bob? Not here. We really gotta find Bob before it's too late, my friends, because whenever I set this to 50% resolution scale, we won't be able to see a single thing. Oh my god. Oh! No, it's not a beanie. It's not a beanie. It's a very cool hat, though. See the eyes? See the eyes that I'm talking about? Just like... Now they're normal, but at first they were creepy, man. What the hell? Hi. You're not Bob, are you? Dude, it's so hard to find Bob. We found him in... Oh, there we go. There we go. I knew we'd find him. Oh, yes. Bob, keep walking.
No time to chat.
No time to chat?
How are you?
I am fine, my friend. A little bit wasted on the eyes because of the graphics here today, but I'm about to... Oh my god. Bob has magic powers, dude. What the? How is this even possible? I was about to kill freaking Bob and the game crashed for a second time. It hasn't crashed in so long, since 4K, you know? What? Okay, back to it. I'm gonna find that bastard. I'm gonna kill him. Alright, let's go with FSR2 at 50% now. This 360p upscaled. It's not that terrible. I was thinking it's gonna be way worse, honestly. Oh my gosh, it's getting really hard, guys. It's getting... That's what she's... No, but... It's getting really hard to see here. Oh my goodness. Come on. Beanie, no. Beanie, no. I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna stop it there, because we need to move on. This is giving me a headache almost. We're gonna move on to Kaz with 0% sharpening and 50% resolution scale. So this is actually native 360p without the upscaling, okay? Yep, it looks like this. You know what? I take back everything that I said. No, it's not a beanie. It's not him. It's not him. What the heck? But I take back everything that I said about 1080p, 66% resolution scale looking like 360p in some areas. It definitely doesn't. 360p is something in its own. Right? Maybe that looks a little bit more close to what it did at 1080p, but hey, it's absolutely terrible. And it's getting 40-ish frames per second. Well, guys, I guess Bob wins this time around. Gosh, I just cannot continue this. I'm so sorry. Is that it? Yes. No, you did not win, Bob. Goodbye, sir. Oh, yes, we made it. And look at that. The police didn't even care about this. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.